Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and in this video we're going to be talking about should you even pull for the weapon banner, the standard weapon banner, and even more so, which weapon should we focus on. Now first things first, let's touch on the first one. Should you pull? Long story short, I think the weapon banner is a very fantastic choice for a select group of people. Especially if you are not wily enough to go for the featured weapon, because this is like limited pulls which are relatively costly as well, cost a bit of money, which takes you away from like getting your signature character that you really like. On the other hand, standard weapon banner goes a really long term, and if you want to get a weapon to maximize your DPS for your other characters that you have multiple characters using the same weapon, I think this is a fantastic choice. I put my money where my mouth is. In Wuthering Ways, I'm totally F2P, and I actually went, as you can see, I slowly got all the pulls until I finally got my first 5-star weapon. We'll talk about which one I chose and why in the thought process, but I think it's fantastic. One other thing, a common misconception that is being had, because a lot of people come from like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, other big gacha games out there, Tower Fantasy, blah blah. One of the benefits about the standard weapon banner in Wuthering Waves that hasn't really seeped in correctly yet is it's guaranteed, and you have a choice of what weapon you want, which means you can snipe exactly what you're looking for at a guarantee of 80. Compared to a character banner like standard character Convene, it's total RNG, you don't even know which one you get. You might get a copy of a character that you do not use, other than the choice banner. So the competition really is choice banner for character or weapon. That is the overall choice. I chose the weapon instead because I want my 4 stars to shine a little bit better, and likely for you, if you have completed the beginner choice Convene banner, you probably want to go over to the weapon banner, and this is where we want to talk about which weapon you can focus on. So we already talked about this, which character is best to choose in the beginner choice Convene. Check that video out if you're interested, but now let's go into the different weapons. What am I choosing? Out of the 5 of them, 2 of them have crit rate and 3 of them have attack percentage. Why I think the crit rate ones, like you can see here, crit rate in the stats, and this pistols here has crit rate. Why is better is because it doesn't matter whether your character skills with defense. For example, some characters like Tao Qi, skills with defense, and if I'm not wrong, one other character skills of defense as of time of recording, official launch. Defense percentage, HP percentage, attack percentage, it doesn't matter. Crit rate buffs all of them. Whereas if you look at the Claymore over here, attack percentage, Tao Qi doesn't want this at all. We're basically useless for her. And same like Winter Brom Gauntlets as well as Winter Brom Rectifier. These are all attack percentage weapons as well, which might not be so great for HP scaling healers maybe, or even defense scaling offensive units too. So between the 2 of them, Emerald of Genesis and Static Mist, I think both of them are great choices. I personally went for the Emerald of Genesis, but my recommendation for broad majority of people likely will be the Static Mist. Why is that? Is because this is not only a crit rate weapon, but it increases, all of them increase energy recharge. But this skill that it has is super generic, super good. When you cast an outro, the switch in resonator's attack is buffed by 10%. Stacking up to 1 time, lasting for 14 seconds. So this weapon is an attack buff, and not only like a DPS gain for the character that is using it, good crit stats and whatnot, but your swapped in character now gets an attack buff. So I think the Static Mist is probably the best out of all 5 of them. I would have chosen it first, but in close second, and I personally picked this first, is Admiral of Genesis. This is super strong as well because a lot of characters in the game, especially if you're a 4-star only account, which my account is, does want a 5-star sword, because many characters like Tao Qi uses it, Sanhua uses it, MC also uses it. So tons of good characters, DPS characters all use the sword, and that is why I went to pick it up first. But it's probably my second recommendation for most, because the passive here, as you can see, when Resonance skill is released, attack 6%, stacking up to 2 times, effect lasts for 10 seconds, which is not as great as the Static Mist and Generalistic that can scale with time. Compared to the other ones, the Lustrous Razor here, good amounts of damage, attack for anyone that benefits from it is good, but I don't really like this too fantastic much. It's going to be just a major stat stick compared to maybe the other optimal weapons that you have in the game. It's not as generalistic. I'm looking for weapons that scale with time, that I can slap on to whatever character and they can benefit a lot from it. When Resonance skill release, resonance damage is increased by 7%. Not that fantastic. Let's talk a bit about the gauntlets. When hitting the enemy with a resonance skill, basic attack damage increases. When hitting target with a basic attack, skill damage increase. Largely selfish, good scaling with attack percentage, so but a bit of a more of a selfish playstyle in that sense for both of them that we've seen so far. Last but not least, of course, we have this catalyst, I don't know. Stormy Resolution increases energy regen by all of them. When hitting targets with basic attack, you gain basic attack damage bonus that stacks, can be triggered one time every 0.5 seconds. So again, you can see here the three of them, the three attack percentage ones are very, very selfish in nature, whereas Emerald of Genesis, although it's also selfish, but it scales with time, very, very flexible. Static Miss is the most team-wide, team play kind of weapon, but then again, you must have characters that you want to play that are using the pistol in order to fully maximize a weapon to begin with. And that is my honest opinions. I went to pick up the Emerald of Genesis, and I'm going to be picking up Static Miss. Oh my god, tripping on my words here. But let me know what you guys think. I'll be happy to read the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you in the next video.